Hello everyone. In this lecture 38, we will understand how to access the tables in SAP HCM. So, tables in SAP HCM are identified as below. First, the personal administration module tables start with PA and info type number behind it, like info type 2, which is basically personal data. So if you see info type 2 is personal data, but if you want to go to the table which basically stores the employee's first name, last name, his birth date, so you have to go to access the table by entering PA and then the info type number, like how it's showed here. So PA and then info type number. So PA is the indication that this particular table belongs to the personal administration module. Similarly, if you want to access any table which is related to OM, like organizational management, then those tables basically are identified with HRP. So it says organizational management module tables start with HRP and info type behind it. So any info type number with HRP, it indicates that this table is from OM. So table for object info type is HRP 1000. Similarly, for table for relationship info type is HRP 1001. Now, how to access the tables in SAP? SAP has provided you two different T codes. One T code is SE16 and another T code is SM30 or SM31. What is the difference between these two T codes? So SE16 T code is basically, this allows you to view the data stored in different fields in the tables, like first name, last name, birth date. These are the different fields, right, in info type 2. So SE16, it allows you to view the data stored in different fields. What are those different fields? Like first name, last name, birth date, marital status. All these are different fields of that particular table. So SE16 is to view, and SM30 is to maintain the values in the table. So let's see the difference between these two codes practically. So what I'm doing, I'm going to the SAP. So the first transaction code is SE16. Now I press enter. This particular screen came up. It is asking me to enter the table name. So if you recall whatever I have mentioned in this slide, I said if you are trying to access any table which is personal administration module related, then you have to enter PA and then the info type number. So this table is for the info type 2. So what I am doing, I am just entering the table name and just press enter. Now it is telling if you want to restrict the output of the table, like what you want to see. So I'm just trying to execute so that it shows me all the details of this table. So now what I'm doing, sometimes what happens, like these are the technical names, so you might be confused, like what is this PERNR, what is SUBTY means. So no need to worry, go to settings, go to user parameter, and then you can tell the system, hey, I want the field label. That's fine. Just change the radio button and then hit enter. It will automatically change those technical names to the actual description of those fields. Now it is saying personal number, subtype. So if you want to restrict, you can basically put that value and see what the table stores. So I am entering my employee number like 50065. I want to see what this table, like personal data, have stored for this employee. I am executing. So once you enter the some values in this field, this is selection screen. In any first screen of any report or table, this is a selection screen, meaning that you are selecting some parameters and telling the system, hey, execute and extract the output. So now I am executing. The moment I execute, these are the different, basically I would say, the values which have been stored. So now if you want to see of a particular details of this line, double click on this. If you double click on this particular record, see, I'm just double clicking on this. If you double click on this one, so it shows you whatever was stored in info type 7. For example, see, birth date, yes, we stored in info type 2. Gender, okay, male is equal to 1, basically, which we already stored in the info type 2. So it is showing us, see, the last name, Paul. First name Smith. So where is it coming from? The SSN is coming here. So birth year, date of like month of birth. So these basically are nothing but the different fields of this info type. So if you want to see what has been stored for like a group of employees, so you basically go to this info type and then enter the employee numbers. So you can give the range of the employee numbers, or if you click this small icon, you can just enter the employee list here also. Like I want to see 50062. So I am telling system, hey, I want to see this output for these two employees. Execute this and then come and execute this. Basically it is showing me two records. So what I did, I clicked on this, which is basically multiple selection. This is single selection, and if you enter something this to this is a range. But if you want like 5-6 specific employees or like specific values of these fields, then you click this icon and enter those values here. So now this was like how to access a table through SE16 to view. Now go to SM30 transaction code to maintain the table. I am going to transaction code SM30. I am hitting enter. This particular screen comes up. First screen is basically this screen. What it is telling? Maintain the table. Now which table? You need to know the table name. Once you know the table name, you can enter. Now I am entering this table name. This is for some purpose. Let's see what this table basically stores. So now I am clicking on maintain. So once I know the table name, I am entering the table name and then click on maintain. This is basically the table to store the work schedule rule. If you recall my time management, one of the lecture, I explained you how to configure the work schedule rule. So if you don't know the navigation path, if you know the table name, you can directly come here. You don't have to go to IMG and then navigate all the way down. This is the easiest method. If you know the transaction code, if you remember, SM30 is the transaction code to maintain the table, and if you know the table name, then it is the fastest way to go and just configure the table rather than going to the navigation path, because both of the ways basically ends the same point. Even if you go to navigation path, it is bringing you to the same screen. Even if you use the table name, it is also bringing you to the same screen. So here you go and click new entries and you're maintaining the table. So that was the difference between SE16. SE16 is to view each field of the details, each field value of the particular info type table, and SM30 is to maintain the table. That's the only difference. Hope you understood. Thank you.